So this month we are talking about masculine archetypes and the animus principle and how they can help us heal things that have been damaged inside us. At the end of the previous episode, I invited you to think of the masculine principle and write down what would be for you 3 important primary characteristics of masculinity and the masculine principle. And today we're going to be looking at the answers that you gave me, and we're going to continue looking at how the masculine principle can help us heal in these difficult times we have all been going through the last couple of years. Welcome to the Stories Cafe podcast, the espresso version of Stories Cafe, offering quick, enriching moments of reflection on literature, cinema, archetypes, philosophy, and the art of living deliberately. Just like a perfectly crafted espresso at a Parisian cafe, each episode is a brief pause for you to submerge yourself in something invigorating and fulfilling. I'm Annette Wernblad, course creator, internationally published author, and wanderer at heart. So cozy up as we explore the powerful world of stories, how they shape our lives, and teach us the art of living deliberately. So the animus is the masculine principle as such, and it's not restricted to gender. What would be 3 characteristics for you, 3 important primary characteristics of masculinity and the masculine principle? Elena says, to me, masculinity is about being aggressive, but in a positive way. And if we look at that particular archetype, the warrior, can you see that when we say the animus, the masculine principle, even father, who's a separate masculine archetype, that they all the big symbols and all the big archetypes have a light side and a dark side. So if we think of that concept of the warrior, just, we're going to go through each one of your answers. If we think of that separate archetype, the warrior has a positive side and a negative side, a light side and a dark side. We're almost entering Star Wars territory here, aren't we? There's the light side of the Force and the dark side of the Force. And in Star Wars, as in so many of the big mythological tales, that is all connected to father. How can you become the best masculine version of yourself with the archetypes with the helpers that are at your disposal, whether Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi or whoever, in that journey until you learn that the dark side of father is your father too. And that even the dark father has a light side. So that's the warrior. I always think of the opening of Martin Scorsese's The Gangs of New York, which is a very powerful and overwhelming film about the father as a warrior, and the father knowing that he will probably be killed. So he has to, in as little time as possible, communicate to the son everything that he needs to know after the father is gone. So what is the best, most efficient way of explaining really, really deep lessons to someone when you have limited time is through the stories, the myths, and the archetypes. So he uses the myth of Michael the Archangel casting Satan out of paradise as the story he tells the boy. And we have a tendency, I think, in the beginning of the 21st century to perceive both of the masculine principle, but especially of the warrior, as a negative thing that we hear, probably slightly more negative energy than positive energy. Does that make sense? But there's a difference between the warrior and the soldier. The warrior is a much more ancient archetype because the warrior fights for what he or she believes in, whereas the soldier does it because he's paid. This is his job. So Michael says the provider, the hunter, the protector. What's really interesting is that the first lenses are other archetypes. Can you see that? So the headline, the archetype is the animus, the masculine principle. The warrior, the provider, the hunter, the protector. They're all separate archetypes, but they are archetypes that are predominantly perceived as masculine. And again, we can talk about men here, or we can talk about the masculine side of women. I would say provider is somebody who provides for somebody else. The protector is somebody who protects someone else. I suppose you can hunt without doing it for something else, but you can't really provide unless you provide for something or someone. You can't really protect unless you protect someone or something. And that's very powerful side of masculinity, those characteristics. And they're part of, I think, a masculine energy that we need right now. Sally says extroversion, pragmatism, objectiveness. All really essential parts of the masculine principle. And to me, it's endlessly fascinating to constantly be aware of this and be aware of different archetypes that can help us, I think in this case right now, to find courage. So strength, the provider, the hunter, the protector, extroversion, pragmatism, objectiveness. And again, we all know that now, but we don't have to go back that far in time where that had to do with men and women. Now it's the masculine principle and the feminine principle. And if we're talking about healing ourselves and going through a healing experience with the help from the masculine principle at this time, I'm just going to actually invite you to listen to that Leonard Cohen song called Come Healing. I'm thinking that it makes sense that some of the healing has to be performed with the aid of masculinity. And that song, Come Healing, is very beautiful. Oh, solitude of longing, where love has been confined. Come healing of the body, come healing of the mind. Oh, see the darkness yielding that tore the light apart. This is my favorite part. Oh, see the darkness yielding that tore the light apart. Come healing of the reason, come healing of the heart. Oh, troubled dust concealing an undivided love. The heart beneath is teaching to the broken heart above. Isn't that a powerful image, that there's a heart beneath inside each of us? There's a heart, the heart beneath is teaching to the broken heart above. Those are the parts of us that were damaged, but underneath we have the heart beneath that is teaching to the broken heart above. Same way that we have the branches, and the branches are the strong, sturdy part of us, and they are longing to lift the little bud that has been damaged. Oh, longing of the branches to lift the little bud. Oh, I will send you a link to this song so you can hear it. And then really, sit with that song for a while. We tend to listen to music in the background while we're doing other things, and we're multitasking, and we have a playlist. And with songs like this, that's a mutilation. The songs of Leonard Cohen, you have to stop and really pay attention to one song at a time. In The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, the book, not in the movie. In the book, we're told that Aragorn has deeply healing powers, that he has this cloth, and Eowyn obviously is deeply wounded from her encounter with the Witch King. So Aragorn takes this cloth and puts it on her heart to heal her. Again, a very moving image of the healing powers of masculinity. The healing, and if you sort of falter in your courage and your sense of being healed and your sense of, do you have the courage to keep going? Because we have these scare campaigns no matter where we turn in the media these days. Normally I don't think it's a good idea to follow the media that closely because they get paid to upset you. So if you falter in your courage and if you're not sure you can go on, find a masculine archetype that you can connect to, and listen to that Leonard Cohen song.
Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your espresso break and learned something new. If you're eager to dive deeper into the world of stories and ideas, be sure to hit the follow button in Spotify or the plus button in Apple Podcasts so that you get each new episode straight to your podcast app. You can also visit us at Stories Cafe. Just go to stories-cafe.com. There you can explore free content for a taste of what we offer, or if you're ready for more, a paid membership unlocks in-depth discussions, full access to our archives, and a vibrant community of fellow story enthusiasts. I am so thrilled to have you here, and I look forward to welcoming you back to the Stories Cafe soon.